שלום מרחבת הגלריה לאמנות בוונקובר, 443 ימים שישנה 100 חטופים בשבי חמאס. אנחנו בעצרת למען שחרור החטופים.
Jewish people and even Iranian people are hostage in Iran for 43 years. And unfortunately, when the Canadian system talked about front of the media in Parliament, they said terrorist government of Iran. They are not even Iranian. Their roots came back to Lebanon and Iraq. The officials in the terrorist Shia regime in Iran. And when the Israel Defense Force and intelligence service decided to remove these proxies from Middle East, after 43 years, the corrupt Canadian system tried to talk about it, saying, hey, Iranian, we are your friend. No, you are not our friend, actually. Because we know 42 years you have been dealing with these terrorists and Iranian murderers. And the only friend we have in the world with Persian is just Israel and the Israeli government. Because they stand front of the serious threat to the whole world that was Islamic Shia terrorist government that more than 43 years ago they brought to the power with the help of Democrats in USA, Britain, Germany, France, and now their safe haven is Canada. After these years, they decided to talk about it. I really appreciate it. I have a lot to say. We have lots of fire. We opened an international case against the entire system of Canada. Recently, I have several talk to the Canadian national security. When you come and talk. Actually, you don't need to know what I want to say. I want to say about what you did, the Canadian system for 43 years. And they just want to know, in the Canadian system, they just, when they talk to you about the terrorism matter, they don't want to remove it from Canada. They just want to know about your potential as a threat for them to come after you to keep them more safe. Why? Because of their huge investments in Canada. Canadian system just look at the money transfer to this country and money laundering that makes the Canadian politicians' pockets happy. They never care about the Canadian people. Everything you see in front of the camera from Parliament or from the police department or from the corrupt RCMP or the corrupt CBSA, they show you another story. They tell you another things. But the reality we saw, I myself have been involving with that in Canada, and that was what I told you. The individuals associated with the IRGC terrorists and Islamic terrorist Shia governments found Canada as a safe haven for themselves. And who opened the gates of Canada for them? You, common people, taxpayers, or the people in the Parliament of Canada. Seriously, you have to focus on this matter if you are concerned about safety of Canada. If you are really concerned about safety of Canada. We know even the houses of them in Vancouver, in Toronto, and when we go front of those houses for demonstration or exposing them, less than 5 minutes, that certain guards from VPD or West Vancouver Police Department or RCMP came to protect them. We know their connection in RCMP. They have lots of connection. I have a lot to say about this matter. I just wanted to let you know only one thing. As a matter of fact, we Persians who are against the terrorist Islamic Shia regime found the only friend we have in this world is just Jewish people. And Jewish government is Israel government. around all the world just made deal with these terrorists just for money. Thank you so much for having me. There are a lot to say about this matter. For sure, we will open soon. Already I had a YouTube channel. It was closed by Canadian system because I was exposing everything I had on that.
A grade 12 student at King David High School. A grade 12 student at King David High School will be sharing on his great uncle who is still being held hostage. Netta, please.
Do you want me to hold the flag?
Yeah, I can't hold it.
Debbie.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming out. My name is Netta Mizrahi.
You want to stand closer to the mic?
Yeah. My name is Netta Mizrahi. I was born here in Vancouver, but all my family lives in Israel, and I used to live there as well. During the war, before it started, on October 7th, when the massacre occurred, Kibbutz Nir Oz was hit the hardest out of everywhere else in Israel. My great aunt and uncle, Yochke and Oded Lifshitz, were some of the people who created the place and built it from the bottom. They've lived there for almost 60 years. On October 7th, they woke up to heavy gunfire and missiles. As soon as they heard that, they went into hiding in their safe room. My great uncle Oded, he held closed the shelter. He held the door closed, and a tear shot through the door, hitting him in the hand. As soon as they got in, they beat him brutally, and then they separated him and my great aunt before taking them hostage. After only 17 days, my great aunt Yochke was released under humanitarian reasons. She was one of the first hostages released. But at this point in time, nobody knows about Oded's situation. He's still in Gaza. We don't know if he's alive or not. We don't know his condition. But after being separated, no one knows what happened. But all we do know is that he survived the initial attack. Oded was 83 years old when this happened. Now he is 84. Can you imagine anyone going through this, especially at this age? They have no medication. They're in a tunnel. They don't have daylight. They have no oxygen. They can't breathe. They're in a closed space. Claustrophobic people, come on. Right? So Oded was a retired journalist. As a journalist, he always fought for justice and equality, no matter what your religion, your political views, or anything else. He always put the truth and integrity first and was never afraid to speak up about the truth. He was also a peace activist who believes in peace. He used to transfer cancer patients from Gaza over into Israel so they could get the treatments that they needed. Oded was a true Zionist who loved Israel. He fought in multiple wars in the parachute unit in the Tzanchanim unit, which is the paratroopers. His family is doing everything they can in order to get at least a little bit of information about his condition. At this point in time, we need to bring him home as well as the 99 other hostages. It's been 442 days in captivity where they've been tormented, tortured, abused. Their loved ones have been shot and killed. We need to bring them back home, to their beds, to their families, and to their homes. We need to bring them home now. On another note, Vancouver, a man from Vancouver that you all know, Ben Mizrahi, he would have turned 23 today. Today is his birthday. Thought you guys might want to know.
Thank you for sharing that, Nita, and your mom is here as well. Both, thank you for coming. And thank you for the information about Ben Mizrahi. I had no idea it was a birthday today. Our next speaker is first time with us, Rabbi Moti Gurevich. He's a rabbi at Chabad of Tri-Cities, Center for Jewish Life. Rabbi, please. Ah, there you go. Just stand really close because otherwise it's loud.
Shalom, friends. Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, the great Jewish poet, wrote, Libi b'mizrach ve'anochi b'sof ma'arav. My heart is in the east, in Israel, and I am at the edge of the west. How true those words feel here today. We're here deep in the west, in Vancouver, but our hearts are in the east. We're thinking about our brothers and sisters in the Holy Land, the hostages in captivity in the dark tunnels in Gaza. Every day we think about them, we pray for them, and today we stand together to say, bring them home.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
Over the past 14 months, how many times have we asked, how much more? How much more do we have to cry? How much more loss must we endure before the war ends, before the pain and suffering and loss stop? And how many times have we asked ourselves, what more can I do? Hanukkah is approaching, and it brings us not only miracles to celebrate, but a message that is so relevant today. Hanukkah is about two great miracles: the victory of the small Hashmonaim army over the mighty Assyrian Empire, and the small jug of oil that lasted for 8 days. And yet, it's the jug of oil, it's the light of the menorah that gets most of the attention. Why? Because it holds a timeless message for every generation, and especially now today. Number one, we fight darkness with light. We don't start lighting the menorah by day. We wait until it's dark outside. And here is the message. When we face darkness, we don't fight it by wrestling with it. Rather, we add in light, the light of goodness and kindness and mitzvot. And on Wednesday, the first night of Hanukkah, how many candles are we going to light? One candle and the shamash. So one candle. Now here's a question. Why not start with all 8? Let's add light. Do 8 candles every night. It's even better. The world sometimes forgets about the value of one individual. They say 1 person, 2 people, we're thinking about the bigger picture. But on Hanukkah, the first night we light 1 candle. A candle represents the soul, and every soul is invaluable. Judaism says that until every last hostage is home, we will not rest. Anyone who saves 1 soul, the Mishnah says, is as if they sustained the entire world. Every individual has infinite value that cannot be quantified. And that's why we will never forget about the hostages, and we won't rest until we bring them home. Sometimes for ourselves as well, we cannot discount the value that we have. Sometimes we feel small, We feel insignificant, and we wonder, does my single light matter? Does me coming here today on this rainy day, doesn't matter. There'll be other people there, and one person, doesn't matter. Yet this Wednesday night, how many candles are we going to light? One candle, because all what it takes to take the darkness out of a big room is just one candle, and that light is each of us. We need to shine our light. We need to ensure that our flame burns brightly. We need to shine with Jewish pride and confidence in who we are as a people, who we are as a nation, stronger than ever before. No one is an isolated individual living in their own bubble. Each of us has a role to play in making this world shine, and it's not just our responsibility, it's our greatest merit and privilege. And after we add one light, what are we going to do the second night? We're going to add a second light and a third. We keep on adding. When we light the candles, we say, She'asa nisim la'avotenu bayamim ahem bizman hazeh. That he who performed miracles for our forefathers in those days, bayamim ahem bizman hazeh, and at this time. Bayamim ahem. In those days, the Jews during the Hanukkah story were faced with incredible suffering and persecution, and yet God brought about incredible miracles and restored the Jewish people to their glory. Bizman hazeh, in this time, we pray for miracles once again. We ask God to bring salvation to his people, to bring the hostages home, to end all war, and to bring the time of ultimate peace. May it be speedily in our days. On a practical note, we need to all add in light, and I want to thank Daphna and everyone who takes part in arranging this every Sunday, rain or shine. You're doing it for all of us, and we're incredibly grateful for that, and words can't say how important this is. As well, there's a bag over here of Chanukiot. There's about 20, so not enough for everyone, but if you don't have candles or menorah, or if you know someone, you're not sure if they have one, please come up and take one. They're free of charge. Let's add light to this world. I'm going to conclude with a prayer from David HaMelech, from King David, and we'll say this chapter of Tehillim, having in mind the hostages that they return home, and that all of our soldiers should return home safely. Please say amen after. Shir Lamalot. Beshuv Adonai et Shivat Zion hayinu kecholmin. Az yimale sechot pinu ushenenu rina. Az yomru v'goyim higdil Adonai la'asot im ele. Higdil Adonai la'asot imanu hayinu semechem. Shuva Adonai et shivitenu ka'afikim b'negev. Hazorim b'dim'am Birina yiksaru, haloch yaloch v'achod noseh meshech hazara, bo yavo birina, noseh alumotav. Amen. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Hanukkah's coming. Bring out the Sivivonim. Sivivon sof 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 Hanukkah hu chag tov Hanukkah hu chag tov Sivivon sof 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 Chag simcha נס גדול היה שם, חג שמחה ולמען, נס גדול היה. כולם! סביבו סוף סוף סוף, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, סביבו סוף נסוף כה וכה, נס גדול היה שם, סוף נסוף כה וכה, נס גדול היה. סביבו סוף סוף סוף, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, חנוכה הוא חג טוב, סביבו סוף סוף סוף. עם ישראל חי, חי, עם ישראל חי, עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי, עם ישראל חי, let's hear you. עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי, 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 עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי. אז חי, עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל 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 חי.
Oh, okay. Okay, don't worry about that. I'd like to call another speaker. I wasn't aware that she's here. Her name is Heather. I won't skip you. She's here, and she'd like to say a couple of words.
There's a few minutes.
How do I get it out? Oh, this one. Sorry. Do I get it out? Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I won't trip. Oh, well, my fellow Canadians and my Jewish friends, for a long time, I've wanted to share some of my thoughts with you. Daphne knows I haven't managed to do that so far. Sorry, I'm going to take my gloves off. I did make a few notes for myself sitting in the car. I was an hour early for 12th and Canby.
But you went to City Hall.
I went to City Hall. Okay, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say how much I have deeply respected you all and your leadership and your determination to stand for what is right and what is true. You did that with so much integrity and under such evil circumstances. You have been leaders in our community in Vancouver. You've been leaders for love and peace. You've shown the way, not war and death. I am a witness to how peaceful and how loving you have been all these months. We never expected it to be so long. And your steadfast love for your people and for life has really impacted me as a fellow Canadian living in British Columbia. You have great love for your people and for life. The Vancouver Police are also witnesses to all of your leadership of love. Even today, you're here, you know, speaking for peace, speaking for life. I wanted to say something else. I did not grow up under, I'm looking at my notes to help me keep organized. I did not grow up with the legacy that you have, your Jewish life. I did not grow up under those circumstances. I was never really taught the 10 Commandments, but I wanted to share just one little fragment of my life. I was given as a child an autograph book, which was sort of fashionable at the time. And on that book, there was one verse of the holy words. And on it, it was Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That one verse in my little life, a long time ago, has been an anchor in my life. I've meditated on it for a long time. So I wanted to say thank you for your leadership and your love in this community in Vancouver. And I deeply care for your commitment from all of you. These two decals, which everyone has been putting around, have been really, I've had them on my car. Our love is stronger than their hate. And Palestinians deserve better than Hamas. That's called leadership. Thank you, Daphne, for your leadership in this community, in this world. And I wanted to say one other thing. I stand with Israel, period. I have with me today several other verses from your holy scriptures, and I put them in a waterproof thing. And I wondered if any of you would like to have one to take home and meditate on it during our special time of the year. This one says, Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So if you'd like one of those to meditate on those verses, you're welcome to receive them from me. And I just wanted to share my heart with you. It's not like a proper speech. I've been trying to make a proper speech. It hasn't worked. And this day I was at 12th and Cambie an hour early. I come from the border.
First, there is another speaker who wants to say something, but I really didn't say enough about Heather. She's been a great help to the community. She's been volunteering. She's been helping with organizing everything in Temple Shalom. She's there almost weekly. She's behind the scenes. She never comes out up front, but she has been with us for the past 14 months, and I personally appreciate you so very much for it. She's very humble, but she's been, I can witness that she's been a lot of help. You wouldn't expect this compared to people that I would expect to. So I'm sorry, I had to say that. You know, in my culture, it's very blunt, and I've always been blunt with you and straightforward, and we're not hiding corners or anything. We have a spontaneous speaker. He's from Kurdistan. This is not planned. I don't know what he's going to say, but he wants to speak. So what is your name? Eddie. Okay, Eddie, here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I would love to give you full support of Kurdistan. I think Israel and Kurdistan are two great nations, two indigenous nations of the Middle East, and their unity is very necessary to establish a freedom, to establish a freedom for all of these people in the Middle East. So right now, people in Rojava facing a very, very brutal enemy of Turkey and its Islamism extremists. They're coming to slaughter the Kurds. And the only people who is defending Kurdistan are Israeli. We're very thankful for them. They announced that we support Kurdistan. And I also want to say all of these has been kidnapped, the Israeli people. They will be free soon. So Kurdish people were very, very grateful for whoever stand with us. And Kurdish and Israeli are two great nations, indigenous people of the Middle East. Our unity is very necessary. So we need to stand together firm against hate, against those Islamic extremists who wants to come to slaughter us, annihilate us. So we need to stand together firm. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Can you sing the Canadian? אוקיי, הוא ישיר את זה לגמרי. תשיר אותה רק לישראלים.
Oh, Canada, our native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, on God for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on God for thee.
כל עוד בלבב פנימה נפש יהודי הומיה ופתה מזרח קדימה עין לציון צופיה עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים.
Thank you very much, Shai and Ari, for singing. What can I say? Let's hope this is one of the last weeks that we have we want to gather together to release the hostages. The reason I decided to be in this location this week was because it's the 22nd and there's a lot of shoppers around, and the plan was to be there and more exposure on people. The plan didn't work out because of the other rallies we didn't know about. So, but then again, next week and for the following weeks, we'll go to City Hall on 12th. That's where we'll be next week on 29th. And happy Hanukkah to everyone. We will have on the 25th here, there's a lighting of the first candle with the Rabbi Chabad of 41st Street. We'll be putting up all the 100 kidnapped posters, which is very significant if you want to come. Again, if you want to know more and be in touch, we won't be changing places that many times. We're going to go to the City Hall. I think most people prefer that place anyways. I want to thank the security from 300 security. There's 5-6 guys here. If you haven't noticed, they've replaced Bitachon from the Federation. The Federation supports us wholeheartedly. The Federation knows I speak to them every week. It's not something spontaneous that I do without consulting with them. The VPD was here today, and we realized there was they're still here. Thank you for VPD for being here with us. As you know, we haven't needed them for the past week, so because of what's happening around us, we thought it would be for you as a crowd to feel safe. So we called up for them to come. Thank you again. I want to thank all the volunteers. We have it goes around 3-4 of us. I want to thank Ari, Gali, Ruben, and Renata for helping every single week. Please stay behind, help load the car, and let's do some chanting because we don't have a chance to. And let's hope this is just before Hanukkah. We'll have some local miracle or in Israel. Bring them home. Bring them home. All mothers. All mothers. All sisters, louder so all the shoppers will hear us. All the mothers. All sisters. All daughters. All sons. All brothers. All families. All women. All children. All kids. All grandparents. All grandparents. All great uncles. Everyone. 100 hostages. They will never be alone. They will never be alone. Louder. They will never be alone. They will never be alone. Fighting for justice, fighting for shalom.
All we want is to bring them home.
Fighting for justice, fighting for shalom.
All we want is to bring them home.
Fighting for justice, fighting for shalom.
All we want is to bring them home.
Bring them home.
Now.
Bring them home.
Now.
Release them.
Now.
Release them.
Now.
Release them.
Now.
Bring them home.
Now.
Bring them home.
Now.
100 hostages.
Bring them home.
100 hostages before it's too late. 100 hostages. 100 hostages. All mothers before it's too late. All mothers. All daughters. All brothers. All sisters. 100 hostages. 100 hostages. For the last time, what do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Are we going to fight for it? Are we going to get it? Are we going to fight for it? Are we going to get it? Bring them home. Sorry. Bring them home. You want to take over? Thank you. We're good. See you. I lost it. And thank you for the Iranian allies that came today and for the Kurdistan allies. Sorry, I need some water. Oh. And I have there's some Chanukiot here to take, but I also have Chanukiot, special Chanukiot, which I posted on Facebook and in a WhatsApp group. It's from the families of the hostages and the kidnapped. They will be purchased for $70, and it's all donated to the families. If anyone interested, I've got some with me. Thank you. No.
עכשיו תגידי, כי לא שמעו אותך. תודה רבה למי שצפה, שי ולימור כאן, 443 ימים, ישנם 100 חטופים בשבי חמאס, העצרת למען השבת החטופים מרחבת הגלריה לאמנות בוונקובר.